supposed to do I've been having a couple kids do study hall,
Yeah.
and I couldn't even get to that today. I was like, hey, like Ryan, you got to help me out.
What up with it there, Walt?
Ace, what's going on, my man?
Not much, my man. We're sitting here talking about how we always end up doing, they don't tell you when you get into coaching how much you're not going to be coaching and worry about other stuff besides basketball.
You got that right. About 10% of the job is coaching, right?
Goodness.
I see you got a nice little background there, Ace. Where are you at, man?
Yeah, I'm in the film room. I'm in the film room right now.
Looking good back there, man.
My stomping grounds. It's my area of expertise in here.
Okay.
What's up, Coach?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good.
Well, man, I'll tell you what, we got Coach Ben Walker on the show with us, coming from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, played college basketball at Creighton, went overseas, played a number of countries overseas, went on to coach some JUCO, Jackson State, then to South Dakota State, and now he's been at TSU for the past 4 seasons. Coach Walt, appreciate you coming on, talking with us today. Man, what's been going on? What's the update? What's been going on with you? How you doing?
Not much, man. I appreciate you guys having me on here, man. It's my apologies you haven't had me on there sooner, but you know how this coaching thing goes, fellas.
Yeah,
it takes a lot of your time. But, I mean, things been going well, man. Things been going well. Just gearing up to play SIUE.
Yep.
How are they looking, Coach?
Well,
they look good. I mean, every team looks good right now. I mean, once you've seen it once, you play them once, they kind of make adjustments, and we have to make adjustments. And, of course, it's going to be a tough game in our league. So every game in Ohio Valley is tough.
For sure.
You can't take any of them for granted.
No, you cannot.
Cannot, especially you're right, especially this time of year, everybody's looking good coming into form, and can't take any of them for granted. Coach, all right, just talk to us, man, a little bit about your background, growing up, high school, falling in love with the game, kind of your upbringing with that, and then how you ended up, how you got to Creighton, and just that whole experience.
Okay, I mean, we got a lot of time here then, huh? Is what you're saying?
We got not all night, but we got a little bit of time for right now.
All right, man. Well, man, I'm born in Charleston, South Carolina, raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Attended a suburbs. I was born in the inner city. I raised in the inner city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Went to a suburban school. At the time in Milwaukee, they had a program called the 220 program. And what it did was it took inner city kids and they allowed them to move and actually take a bus to schools in the suburb at the time. And so my mom took advantage of the opportunity. My family took advantage of the opportunity. Went out to a suburb school, man, and just fell in love with the game of basketball. I've always played it, but I didn't know, like, you can actually, the ball can take you places. You know what I mean? I didn't know how valuable the game is and what it can do for you in your future. And so went on to Oak Creek High School in Oak Creek, Wisconsin. Played 4 years there. Was an all-stater. And, my senior year, I'm thinking, I'm done. I'm done playing basketball. I didn't know any much about, college basketball when I was growing up. And I get an offer from Creighton University. During that time, I did play a little bit of football and happened to be pretty good at football, but football wasn't my love, and I had more offers for football. But I really loved the game of basketball, and it was in my family and our blood, and had an offer from Creighton University. They were very loyal to me. Waiting the time for me to pass the ACT test. Took me a few times to pass it. But once I passed it, man, it was a great decision for me to go out to Creighton and play ball for Dana Altman. Had a successful 4 years at Creighton, 3 NCAA tournaments, 1 NIT. And then the rest of it is kind of like, history. Played some basketball afterwards abroad. Didn't know I was going to get into coaching. Had no idea about coaching if I really wanted to do it. But it's kind of something I fell in love with, and helping young men reach their goals and fulfill their dreams like I did is something that's important to me and why I like it.
So, all right, let's back up to Creighton before we move on to getting into coaching. You obviously you played. Creighton's got a really storied history, a historic program. Kind of just who were some of the guys that you played with while you were at Creighton?
Well, I played with Rodney Buford. He was at the time he was a leading scorer before Doug McDermott broke his records. He was a all-time leading scorer at Creighton University. Unbelievable player. We had a game against Bradley my freshman year, and Bradley scores a total of 44 points for the game. So we played good defense. Rodney Buford scores 40 of our points.
Oh my goodness.
Unbelievable score. Played with Kyle Korver, a little bit with Anthony Tolliver. He was kind of like a walk-on kid not a walk-on, but kind of a redshirt at the time. But just played some good guys. Ryan Sears, he's a guy that went to the Hall of Fame with me at Creighton in 2010. It's just a number of guys we played with. A lot of them you may not know because they're not in the NBA, but Kyle was probably one of the more famous guys that I played with for 4 years, for 3 years.
That's
wow.
Perfect. What you said you were under Dana Altman, and obviously he's gone on to keep coaching at some cool places. What's it like playing for a guy like that, and then seeing him go on and do other things after you're done, and the pedigree that he has? What's it mean to play under a guy like that? Looking back on it now.
Well, I mean, at the time, he had the same ambitions that we had as players. He just wanted to win. He had a tough goal in the earlier years before our class got there. And he was, he did his thing recruiting. He was really patient, with us as players, and even with the coaching staff, just really patient. And he knew what he had, you know what I mean? And so he allowed us to grow and develop, and we just had fun, playing under Dana Altman. He had a great system, you know what I mean? And he took his lumps beforehand, but once he got it rolling, it was easy. It was easy for him. And then once we started winning, it's like any team. Once you win the first year, it's easy going into the next year. And you're used to playing longer once you make it to a postseason play. You're used to playing longer. So when the season is a little shorter, you're kind of surprised. You know what I mean? So we wanted to play long every year. And he kept telling us every year, let's play longer. Let's play longer. Let's play longer. And we kind of took that mentality. Just play longer and have fun and enjoy the process.
Yeah, once you get a taste, you need that second one.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And it's fun. And you got to get there, though. That's the hardest thing is you have to get there. And that's a tough thing to do.
All right. So you mentioned it was fun, and I guess I'm trying to. Does it feel like kids are still having as fun as maybe you did, or growing up and getting the same enjoyment out of the game? And if they're not, what can we do to make sure that they're still having that amount of fun, to make it, because it is fun and winning is fun. It's hard, but it's fun. What can we do to make sure that they're also having fun while still putting in the work and having that winning mentality?
Well, I think right now we just have to change the mindsets of these young men. Like a lot of young men that we're recruiting and a lot of our players now, they're the individual workout kids. They like working on their individual games. You know what I mean? Back then it was just a team game. Like we didn't mind making the extra pass. We didn't mind, hanging out with our team and working out with the team. Mm-hmm. And I think that has to change. And I think a lot of times is our college game follows the NBA game. You'll watch an individual player and he's doing his individual workouts, and guys go away from, the team concept of things, and that's kind of where the game goes. Once the game goes back to, a team playing in the NBA, like the Golden State Warriors, a great team, but players now, they just want to work out individually, and that's not as fun. I don't think it's as fun. And then just playing the game. I don't think playing the game, going out and playing, going out to playgrounds and playing, and going out to, recs and playing. Guys just don't want to do that, playing with guys you don't know and learning from them. That's kind of missing right now in the game. And me growing up and me going to Creighton, and that's what we did. We played all the time. We played every day. In the summertime, we would travel to other schools and play. We'd go play Omaha, Nebraska, go to their open gym and play. We'd travel to Lincoln, Nebraska, play the University of Nebraska and play those guys. Go to Bellevue University, which is 20 minutes away from Creighton, and go play those guys. So it was an everyday thing of playing, and that was fun. And that's how we developed, and that's how we got better. And when you do that, that builds a lot of chemistry. You know what I mean? And I think the fun is taken away from it now because you so much worked on yourself and your own ability that you don't see the results. You don't know that it does take your team to win. It does take chemistry to win. And so we have to change the mindset of that and the mindset of these young men, and just, make them play more, make them have more fun playing together, learning each other the right way,
Yeah.
All right. Coach, I got to say something, because that whole conversation. So I had a talk with our guys the other day, and we were talking about Devin Booker getting all upset with the guy in the fan, the Toronto Raptors mascot in the fan. And then I asked the question, or we started talking about him getting upset about the double team. I don't know if you saw that video, but when
I did see that video. Yeah.
He said, we're trying to work on our game, man, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, how can you, and I looked at all of our guys, and I was like, who here thinks that this is the right thing to do? Like, I'm just curious. Like, let's just have a conversation. And they were like, no, you shouldn't be double teaming and pick up, blah, blah, blah. I said, are you serious? And this is my personal opinion. I said, I'm not going to let you win. I don't care who you are. Like,
Right.
I'm trying to win the game. And they're like, no, we're trying to work on our game. I said, bro, you guys have gotten it so wrong that you guys think that working on the game is just like this individual skill. No, it's learning how to win in different ways.
You're exactly right.
That is working on your game. All this other stuff, you guys don't get it. Like, that's not what it is. So that's funny that you started talking about that, because I played pickup with our guys one time. It was I think it was this fall, and it was a non-orchestrated pickup. And I was like, I'm just going to go play with them. And there were some other guys in town, and it was just like one-on-one. This is all it was. It was one-on-one. If somebody catches it, they do whatever. You sit in the corner. I was like, man, I will never come back to this. I said, this is basketball. I said, this is terrible. Like, I won't do it. Like, you're telling me I don't pass and move and screen and cut and have to guard somebody unless – and I was like, nah, I'm never doing this again. So –
and that's not fun. That's not fun playing the game that way. And it's actually a lot harder. I mean, the generation now is they make the game a little harder than what it has to be. If you're double team, guess what? Get rid of the ball. Somebody's open. It's that simple.
Exactly.
If you're a really good player, we're going to double team you. I mean, the game is that simple. We're going to take away what you like to do and make it hard for you. And
you don't think you're going to see that in the actual game? Like, come on, Devin Booker. Like, you better make that extra pass and rely on a teammate to make the extra one.
No, well, to Devin Booker's defense, to his defense, I don't know if those guys are very good. He's playing pickup with, so he may have had every right to get mad, for the double team. Like, look, man, these guys I'm playing with, they're not very good. Yeah. So I'm going to take all the shots and I'm going to win the game, but maybe that's what happened.
This is what my thing is. And like, once again, Devin Booker's having a heck of a year. Suns are doing great. Like, I 100% respect all of that, but I couldn't imagine a guy with like Kobe Bean Bryant ever saying something of the sort. He said, send another. You better send another. Yeah. Like Michael Jordan, there's no way he would have said, we're working on our individual game.
You're right. You're right.
He would have broke somebody's nose that was going to double him, made a pass, got the rebound. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
That's what's happening. That's what's happening with the game, and it'll change. And we have to continue to do our part as coaches and helping these young men understand and learn the game the right way. Take the individual stuff out of the game.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Last thing, and I'm done with this tangent. I think the biggest thing, and I don't know why, and correct me if I'm wrong, is I think they view that as fun, to go out there and just hang out and joke around and do all this other stuff on the basketball court, when, like you said, what I would always did when I played was, it was fun to beat you. Yeah. Like, that's what was fun for me.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Right.
I just
that hasn't changed. That hasn't changed much at all from now. But I mean, you look at what guys look at now. I mean, when we're growing up, we're watching the games. We're actually watching the games. We're not watching the highlights of what guys are doing. And I think that's part of it also, is with social media and things like that, and media outlets for them, they're able to watch Steph Curry go through the legs 6 times and take a shot. But if they watch the game, they'll understand he did that move one time.
Yes.
And they fail to realize, like, if he makes that shot one time, he's not going to do it again. He's working on, when he really does, what he really works on at home are the standstill shots in the corner. He takes a bunch of those, coming off screen shots. Like, and I think those are the workouts that guys need to see. Like, what is he really working on? What is he really paying attention to? It's not the James Harden triple step back. He may do that once or twice in the game. What he's really working on is coming off the screen and making plays, getting downhill, getting you in foul trouble and things like that. And so I think that's the part of it that's missing, is watching the game. We used to watch Michael Jordan. We used to watch Kobe Bryant. And so once they did one of those moves, we knew for sure I'm not going to work at that. I'm going to work at that fadeaway that Jordan does, because he's taking that 20 times in the game, And so that's what's happening with this youth right now, I think.
Yeah. So you see DeMar DeRozan, what he's doing right now, and you're like, okay, this is a Kobe guy. This is an MJ guy. And, like, it's still productive. But even a step further with Steph Curry is, God, I mean, dude sets more screens than anybody in the freaking league besides Draymond Green.
Right.
I mean,
and he's going to set screen,
and he doesn't stop. He doesn't exactly
continuously move. And so if you're watching anything about Steph Curry, it's, look how much this guy's moving. Like, the guy that's guarding him, you have to be exhausted to do. And that doesn't happen overnight. He's actually working at this. This is what he's working on. This makes those shots make those open shots easier for him. because he's worked on running all over the place off of screens and getting his feet square and getting up the shot.
Yep.
But we are, our youth, they don't see that. They just see the triple crossover.
Yeah. No. And they see the 50 points and they don't see that 15 of those came from the free throw line.
Correct.
They don't see that 6 of those probably came on a back cut because now people are over pressuring him. Mm-hmm. So now you're sitting at 21 points and you haven't even talked about his threes yet or any dribble moves So anyway, all right, I digress. I apologize.
Oh no, you're
fine. I had to go on that rant.
No, that's a great point. I always because when I was working out, when I was playing, I'd be in the gym doing a 6, 8, 10 count, something like that. But I was smart enough to know that I'm not going to do that move in a game. It's Correct. So when I need to make that one move when a defender comes, well, shoot, I can make the one move because I just did 10 of them in the gym 10 times. So it's just really just so I can be confident in that one move that I'm making.
But the game is not that hard. It's really not that difficult.
It's a simple
game.
Take
away your right hand, use your left hand. If they take away your 3-pointer, drive to the basket and get a layup. It's really not that hard to play the game, but we make it a lot harder than what it is. We overthink it sometimes. So
yeah.
Like every offseason trying to do all these crazy things when really you just need to add like 1 or 2 moves. If that's you want. And then if you're in college, it's like even simpler than that. Like unless you're the guy, if you're a role guy, really accept that role and really master it. So
yeah, you're right. You're right. And there's guys that's getting paid millions of dollars for mastering their role.
PJ Tucker.
Yeah. I mean, look at this. Kyle Korver played 13, 14 years in NBA. He has the same role he had in college when he played with me. He just stood in the corner and waited for the shot and he knocked it down. When he had a chance to shoot it, he knocked it down. Mm-hmm. But there were some games in the NBA where Kyle was on the court and he had 0 attempts. Mm-hmm. He's fine with that. He did his job. His job was to make the defense stick to him. Mm-hmm. Wow. So now he's actually a really, really good offensive player. Mm-hmm. So now he created an advantage, for his offense, for the offense on his team. So now if I'm driving his way, I got a cleaner layup because no one's going to help because I got a knockdown shooter in the corner.
Yep.
And then that's how simple the game. They're paying guys millions of dollars to stand in the corner and wait. But kids nowadays, they say, Coach, I have more to my game than that.
Yeah.
I can care less what you got more than the game. Just knock down that shot when you get a chance. Just stand right there and wait.
And then listen, if you can do that, great. Then maybe in the offseason you can work on something else. Add one more thing. And then if you come back and it's like, okay, cool. Like you're really good at that. Or like, Nathan, you're still not a good 2-point shooter. Like I get it. I tried for an offseason and I still didn't have it. So, stay behind the 3-point line. But
just know your role. Just do your role. If your role is knocking down the stand, just do that. And your
Kyle
team
Korver, great example. Klay Thompson, great example. He's not trying to do what Steph does. He catch and shoots. He 1-dribble pull-ups. He dunks it. I mean, that's
very simple, right?
And he guards.
And he definitely plays defense. Yeah, very good defender.
But outside of practice or during practice, maybe just during a shooting drill.
Oh, well, during a shooting drill, it's automatic. It's called autopilot when he lets it go. And everything's the same. Everything's the same with him. He doesn't change his base doesn't change at all. His form doesn't change at all. And if he's missing a shot, for him, it's always like the rim's crooked, or the air is on in the gym. That's why I'm missing these shots. Like he's never changed anything. And he shot the ball the same way all the time. Yeah. So the way he shoots in the NBA may be a little bit quicker because the defenders are a little longer, a lot better athletes. But his form, when he catches in the right spot, it's automatic, And the same thing's for him. If he catches it in a bad spot, he may take one bounce and pass it. He doesn't shoot the ball. If he catches it in the bad, he's not shooting it. Yeah. And that's what's, made him great. I'm not taking a bad shot. If I catch it bad, it's not going up.
Yeah.
If I catch it good, it's going up.
Yeah.
He's
great mentality to have right there. That is and it's a smart mentality to have.
That'll equal a career 40+%.
Well, but that's simple, fellas. That's easy.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I mean? That's what we're like. That's the easy part of this thing. Mm-hmm. And shoot it the same way. I'm not changing up nothing. Why? I've never had a bad shooting day before. I shot the same way every day.
Yeah.
He's never had a bad shooting day.
Yeah. So all right, so let's move on a little bit. So you wrap up at Creighton. You're thinking about what's next for you. Did you know overseas was a possibility? Did you think the NBA? Did you have any possible NBA opportunities? And then you end up getting overseas. What was that whole process like?
Well, when I finished, I signed with an agent when my season was done, and like I said, I didn't know the whole process because I've never been through that before. I did some workouts. I did with Indiana Pacers and Milwaukee Bucks, and a few other teams. But it was one of them things where when I didn't get picked up by those teams, I thought it was over. I didn't know that there was more basketball out there. It's not as broadcast as much now as it was then. And I had no idea. And one of our assistant coaches, his name was Kevin McKenna. He's in Oregon with Dana Altman now. Played with the Lakers, won a ring with Magic Johnson with the Lakers. Unbelievable shooter. He told me, said, "Hey, it's not over. There's more basketball to play. Like, you can go abroad and play." And I had no idea. And so, I took a chance and went overseas. Played my first year in England, in a city called Birmingham. And it was just a lot of fun, just learning a new culture. They spoke English, so that was easy. The food was pretty, similar to what we had here. But it was just learning a different culture and seeing how other people do things, and how they move over there and it was an everyday thing for me, and I was open-minded also. I went over there open-minded, knowing that some things may be different. Some of the food may be different than what I'm having. How they move may be a little different. Of course, driving on the other side of the car, that's completely different. You know what I mean? So
Man.
I went over there open-minded. And once I understood that, I knew that I would continue to play ball for a long time overseas because my mind was open to different things. I was willing to, experience different things and meet different people. And I wanted to learn. And so that made that job easy for me for, 6 years, 7 years of playing.
Yeah. Man, it was kind of the same thing when I went to military school. I had to have an open mind about it because, I knew everything was going to be different. It was going to be completely different than anything I'd ever experienced. And so I had to go in with an open mind and try to find the fun somewhere. Otherwise you'd sit there and be miserable, lonely all day. But, regardless of the circumstances, you got to try to find the fun in it.
100%, Asa. And I had to be roommates with you, and I just realized I had to try to find the fun in it.
So the snoring was back then too, huh? Okay.
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh.
He was a great roommate. Besides when he wasn't.
Okay.
Walk. What was the most fun you had playing overseas, and what country? Where just kind of the coolest experience, coolest place you were at?
The coolest place I've ever played. I was lucky enough to play in the Middle East, and I played in Dubai. I played in Qatar first. I was in the country Qatar first, which is a 45-minute flight from Dubai. And Qatar was an amazing country. I had no idea I was going to play in the Middle East. I didn't know if I wanted to play in the Middle East because of what was on the news. And once I got there, I was kind of like, wow, this place is awesome. And then played in Qatar for a year and a half. And I went and played over in Dubai for a year. And I tell you what, if someone told you Dubai is on the moon, believe it, because it's spectacular there. They have some things there it was just unbelievable. The architectural structure there was unbelievable. The people they were awesome. The money was great. Of course, season was a little shorter, but the money was great. And, now, a guy can go over there right now and make really, really good money in Dubai because they've grown, in the basketball, in Asia. So that's good. But that was the most fun place and more spectacular place I've been. Australia was fun, but Dubai was, it was kind of like, wow, there's more to life out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on that some people will never see and never experience. And I was lucky enough to experience it.
Mm-hmm. Man, oh my gosh, I want to go to Dubai so bad. I bet that sounds unbelievable.
We'll spend a lot of money. You will spend a lot of money, believe me.
Yeah. Is everything really expensive over there?
No. It's just
arm and a leg just to get over there.
Well, you know what? I don't think it's that much to get there. The idea is for you to get there. For them, they have to get you there.
Mm-hmm.
Once they get you there, and once you see all the glam and all the lights and everything, you're going to spend your money because you're going to want to see more. You're going to want to experience more. The shopping is roughly about the same as ours. You can get a lot of things differently with jewelry and things like that. But I spent a lot of money on gifts. That was my thing. I wanted other people to experience with me, even though they weren't there with me. So I would just send things home all the time. And that's what happened to me in Dubai. I spent a lot of money, made some decent money, but I spent a lot of money in Dubai. So.
Oh man, that's awesome. All right. Okay. So you're wrapping up your playing career. I don't know what you're thinking is next for you. You start training some guys, right? I know you had a lot of big names that probably these kids know now, right? That have made a name for themselves. You start doing that. So what turned you in to actually want to suit up on the sideline and get into coaching after playing?
It was, I want to say it was Miles. I mean, I was lucky enough to train Miles Turner and Marcus Smarts and Terrence Ferguson and guys like that. I was lucky enough to be in that vicinity, and I got really lucky.
Yeah, then when they were young, Nate. Yeah, then
they were babies. Young. Like Miles Turner was, 7th grade. I was there when he
still gives me PTSD, Asa.
we played Miles Turner, coach, while we were at Lipscomb one year.
Okay, but he was. I mean, back then he was, skinny kid, this young skinny kid, and the thing that changed me to go into coaching was the kids I was training. They got older, and I was like, man, I don't want to do this all over again with a new batch of kids. And it was 6 years. I was training kids for 6 years when I was done, and I lucked up into a great situation. Had our own facility. I was extremely blessed, and these guys came in every day. They wanted to get better, and you can tell. You can kind of tell when guys are pros. Like Marcus Smarts would come in our gym and just sleep on the floor because he didn't want to go home. And Terrence Ferguson was, in his 6th grade playing, up with the 8th graders. You know what I mean? And Miles Turner was just, 7th, 8th grade. He was still 6'7", just long, just didn't have any coordination. You know what I mean? Like, so, and growing up and watching those guys and seeing those guys, man, it was hard. It was really hard to stop, but I knew I needed to change. I needed to do something different and, kind of take my talents and show other kids, hopefully more kids, 2 years or 4 year schools. And that's what I did.
Man. So, man, all right. So with all the stops, let's see, you started JUCO, right?
Started JUCO.
Yep. And then how was that?
It was different.
Yeah.
It was different. I learned a lot of lessons in JUCO, a lot of lessons that I have now. I've been really lucky in coaching to be with some good people and learning from good people. The biggest lesson I learned about junior college basketball was the kids they're not going to be as good as you are, or you were. They're never going to be as good as you were. And the reason that they're not going to be as good as you were is their motivation's different. They have a whole different motivation. Like my motivation was completely different on why I accepted the game and grew in the game and wanted to be great at the game. Their motivation was completely different than mine. So I had to try to relate. And the great thing about playing ball overseas is their motivation is different overseas also. You know what I mean? You have in Dubai, I had some guys that had jobs. They worked real jobs. Like basketball is recreation, and they were my teammates. So I had to find a way to make them love the game as much as I did. And that's what I learned in junior college. It was once I took my anger and my frustration away of guys missing wide open layups and, guys not working as hard as what I thought I did at the time. I continued to grow. I got better as a coach, got better as a person. And it was more fun to be around me because I knew whatever your motivation is, let's find out what that is. And then let's maximize what we can get out of that motivation. And that happened. That's kind of made me fall in love. It was some tough coaching years, in JUCO my first few years, but I did learn a lot.
And then so then you go to Jackson State, and then
Butler. I go to Butler Community College. I went to two.
Okay, yep. It was two. Okay, got you.
Went to Butler Junior College in Kansas, in Butler, Kansas. Yeah. Yes, we had a great run. Broke some records there as for wins, and we had a really good team. And like I said, I was really blessed to have the coaching staff that we had. Then I decided that, I want to see what this D1 thing is like as a coach. I played it. I wanted to see what it was like as a coach. And I get over to Jackson State in Jackson, Mississippi. It was a lot of fun. I had a great time in Jackson, Mississippi. HBCU in the SWAC. We won, 20 games, 20 plus games, and that was fun. And then a friend of mine got a job at South Dakota State. A guy I grew up with, Otzelberg. He's now the head coach at Iowa State. He gets a job at South Dakota State, and he calls me and says, hey, I need you with me. Let's come on out here and let's win some games. Great job, great, opportunity. So decided to do that. Won some games there, a few NCAA tournaments, And then it was time for me. It was a change for me. I needed a change. I needed to get out of the North and kind of move down south.
Mm-hmm.
And once I got the opportunity to, learn more about Coach Collins, I knew Coach Nichols very well. I was recruiting a couple of his players. His player played for me at South Dakota State.
Mm-hmm.
Once an opening came up, and Nichols called me and Penny called me, and it was like, it's a good fit. Let's go south a little bit, and let's learn from some other guys. Let's have some fun down there.
Yeah.
And so that's why we're here right now at Tennessee State.
Man, I tell you what. That's, well, all right. So I have a question for you. You mentioned you said I want to see what this D1 thing is like, what this coaching D1 is like.
Yes.
So all the coaching that you've done up to this point, what's the answer to that question? What has it been like for Coach Walker?
That's good.
It's not as fun as playing, I'll tell you that. Playing it is a lot more.
Watching games in general, no matter how you're watching, whether you're coaching on the sidelines or in the fans, it's way more stressful than playing.
Yes.
No matter every time.
Playing is a lot more fun. It was way more fun because you didn't have to deal with all the compliance and all that stuff that you deal with, the ins and outs of being a coach. There's a lot more to it, you know what I mean? And once you get the hang of everything that's, that you have to do every day on your day-to-day, like, you had study hall. I mean, that's an everyday thing for guys, you know what I mean? Once you get used to it, it is fun. But, having played in the NCAA and then coaching in the NCAA, playing in the NCAA tournament and coaching in the NCAA tournament, it was a lot more fun as a player. I tell you that. It was a lot more fun getting there as a player. It's a lot less stress on you,
Man, goodness.
A lot less stress.
Well, all right, Coach. I'll tell you what. We're going to end with some rapid fire questions here, and then it's slap time for Asa.
Let's go.
All right. Okay, first one. Last technical as a coach.
Wow. That's I don't know.
Have you ever
individually? I mean, maybe our staff has gotten a few of them, but no, I can't remember.
Okay, good. You get any as a player? You a hothead at all?
Well, every now and then I get a little bit. I mean, long time ago, I get a few of them.
Okay. Were you ever kicked out of a game?
Never kicked out of a game.
Never kicked out of a game. Good.
Never.
All right. Ever dunked the basketball on a 10-foot rim?
Yes.
Did you have hops like that?
Oh man, I was dunking all the time, Ace. You gotta look me up, man. I'm on YouTube. You can find me on YouTube.
I looked you up one time on YouTube. I found an interview, but I couldn't find a lot of game highlights.
You got to go to the game highlights. They'll show you a few of them that I had some hops back then.
That's not a jab. We ask everybody that question if they dunk.
No, that's no problem. No problem.
Okay. You're up 3 at the end of a game. They have the last shot. Do you foul or let it play out?
I foul.
You foul? Yeah.
I foul.
I like that idea.
Yep, I foul.
I'm a big fan of that idea. Okay. You leaving our best player in with 2 fouls in the first half?
Yes.
Yes. Good. All right. Go for the tie. Go for the win.
Well, wait a minute. In the first half, you mean how much time's in the first half?
I don't know. We'll say let's say there's 7 minutes left in the first half. He picks up his second foul. And it's above average important. It's an important game.
Important game?
Yeah.
I'm leaving him in.
Yeah.
Leaving him in.
Okay, go for the tie, go for the win.
The win.
There we go.
Who goes for the tie? I'm going for the win.
Yeah. Casual or professional on the sidelines?
Professional.
Yeah. Yeah?
Professional.
You rather go suit than the khakis and quarter zip?
I'd rather go suit because you're setting an example. I mean, I think, in our game, young men need to see how important it is to look good. And they know how to look good on the, on the sideline with their uniforms and all that. It's important for them to see, like, you can wear a suit and coach.
Yeah.
This really is a job. You know what I'm saying? And I think you need to look the part of the job.
Yeah.
So I think that's important.
I agree with that. I do think there is something
like that.
about the morale of guys walking in with buttoned up, suit and tie on. That I do think there is something to be said about that. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I think unless like this is we're going in for business. Like, we're going in to take care of business. You wear a suit and tie anywhere, other times you're going to work and it's a business job or whatever job you're having. It's work. You're going to go take care of business.
Yeah, certainly. Okay. Early morning or evening or night practice?
Ooh. Evening.
Evening. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. If you were not coaching basketball and or training kids, what would you want to be doing?
Playing
as
That's a very good question. I mean, a lot of times from this side, they say I look like Denzel, so I probably go into acting. Do a little acting, just looking this way only as they're filming. I don't know. That's a good question, man. I have no idea.
Really?
That's a good question, man. I'm a free flower, man. I just kind of go with the wind, man. I just, that's been my life. That's been how I became who I am now. I just kind of go with the wind. If there's something that's different for me to do, I'll give it a try. If I like it, you know what? I'll do something different.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of it.
I've been having a picture of Denzel in my room.
I know that was my training day picture, right? Is that the one you have up there?
Every time
I remember when I took that picture. I mean, when I took that picture, I tell you what, I was feeling myself at that time when I took that picture.
Oh my gosh, man, that's hilarious. I do. Oh man. All right. Okay. You playing any golf?
I mean, I try to. I mean, you got to have really good housing insurance around me when I'm playing golf because I'm probably going to ruin something out there. It's just my wife's better at golf than I am. She's pretty good.
Oh my gosh! I remember you said at DMAC. You said it was a driving range right by the house, wasn't it?
Right behind our campus. It was awesome. And it was funny because I didn't get any better at all. Even with that there, I was just hacking at the ball, man. I just enjoyed just taking my frustrations out on it, and then if I lost the ball, I'll put another one down. That's how I play the game. We can't find it. Let's put another one down with the same spot. Let's go.
There we go. Short memory. Next shot. Always the next shot.
That's right. Let's go.
All right. Should every team make the conference tournament?
In the OVC?
I mean, just in general, if you are the governing body of the NCAA of men's basketball, and you had to make a choice, should every team in every conference make the conference tournament or no?
That's a good question. I don't think so.
No, why not?
I don't think so. I think I think if everyone makes it, I think you take away the excitement of the conference tournament. You take away the whole feel of you've accomplished something. You get to continue to play. You know what I mean? I also think it helps us out as coaches that if we all go, we just kind of it just takes away the fun of it, of knowing if you're going to go or not, or the excitement of is your team playing well or not, or what can happen. I mean, for us this year, it's a little stressful because everyone's kind of bunched up at that fourth position.
Yep.
But it is a lot of fun just knowing if our team comes out there and plays and they do things the right way, we'll go into the conference tournament with some confidence and we'll have fun there. You know what I mean? And I think that's something to work for. I think it's of course the NCAA tournament's great, but making it to the conference tournament is kind of like your mini NCAA tournament. Once you get there, you're good. Now it's 0-0. Yeah. You win your conference tournament. Now it's 0-0 against, the top 64, 65 teams in the country that had an opportunity to make it. Mm-hmm. So I don't think every team should go. No.
Yeah. I got you. All right. Last one. My favorite one, LeBron or Jordan?
Come on, man. I'm a Jordan guy. You know this. I'm a Mike guy, man. I am a Jordan guy. Now, you're saying off the court or on the court? I think LeBron's unbelievable off the court.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. LeBron's an unbelievable basketball player. He's unbelievable. But I think what Michael Jordan has done to the game and for the game is just spectacular. I mean, it's unbelievable what, one man can do for the game. I mean, just globally for the game. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think that's unbelievable. And then show up every day knowing, someone out there wants to see you do something that you may have never done before, or he was chasing perfection. And you can never achieve perfection as a player or even a coach because your perfect in the game is different from mine. Mm-hmm. And my perfect is different from everybody else's. And so to chase perfection of everyone in the arena, I think it's unbelievable and it's extremely difficult to do, but you got to be a strong-minded player to do it. And I think that's what Michael Jordan was, to the game.
Yeah. All right. Well, you did say off the court, LeBron. So is that a Denzel thing? Do you think LeBron's just a better actor?
Well, no, I think that LeBron.
There's a Space Jam 1, Space Jam 2. You're telling me LeBron is a better actor?
No, that's not what I said. I just said,
LeBron. I'm playing.
LeBron's doing producing and all that now. So I'm just saying that just in case he sees this, I can look this way. he can get me on, just a short little bit on the movie, doing that stuff now. I just get a little. He's directing. I just want to get a little glimpse of. That's all.
Space Jam 3. Go ahead. Hey, Coach Walk's going to be at least in the stands this time.
That's right. I can be somewhere out there. You're going to know if I'm out there, though. I'm going to definitely get out of character if I'm on that.
Man. Well, Coach Walk, I appreciate you coming on, man. It's a pleasure to finally have you on. I'll say this real quick. It's also been awesome to be able to, work with you and learn with you for the past 3 seasons, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. So I appreciate you, man. I really do.
Oh, man. This has been a lot of fun, fellas. And like I said, my apologies for not getting on here earlier, as soon as with you guys and joining you. But, man, it's the feeling's mutual, Ace, man. I enjoy, just hopefully we're teaching you the right things in this game and how to do things the right way, man, and keeping you patient in this game. The opportunity is going to come. You're a good coach. You're going to be a great coach down in the future. Just keep learning, man, and having fun, and continue to know they're not going to be as good as you were. All right.
Yeah. I don't know how hard that'll be, but hey, you're on Twitter, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. What's your Twitter?
My Twitter name is BEN Walker, the number 4.
Gotcha.
So Ben BN Walker 4.
Gotcha. So I'm gonna wrap this up real quick. You can find myself on Instagram at the Aces page with a Z on the end. You can find myself on Twitter at Coach Aces page. You can find Nathan on Twitter at Coach Nate Moran. You can find Mind of a Coach on Twitter at Mind of a Coach Pod, and you can find us on Instagram at Mind of a Coach. Coach Walk, man, thank you again, dog. I appreciate you. It's slab time for Asa.
Hey, man, this was a lot of fun, fellas. Thanks for having me, man. This was a lot of fun.
Appreciate it. You're welcome to come on anytime, dog.
Okay, I'll be ready tomorrow. You guys ready? I'll be here tomorrow.
I'll be on the bus.
All right, fellas.
All right, well.